Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It is your girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio, and we're having a very important conversation, I might add, with regard to these, weight loss products that are available on the internet. Right now, losing your weight seems to be like you know everyone seems to be in this frenzy of losing weight, right? And I don't know if I'm just the only one who feels this way, but I've seen so many people. Every time I'm scrolling down my Instagram, there's so many people who are talking about their weight loss journeys. They're going to the gym, they're working out, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But the thing is, sometimes you have to draw the line with regard to dangerous weight loss and weight loss, right? Because the truth is, you can lose weight and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's a way in which you lose weight. Starving yourself, for one, is definitely not a good way to lose weight, right? And sometimes things like that lead to eating disorders like anorexia or bulimia, and that tends to have a very negative impact, because it's not just physically, it doesn't just physically affect your body, but it mentally affects you as well, right? Because imagine, for me, all of these symptoms I've seen about eating disorders. You either eat too much, you either eat too little, you're purging, you're fasting, you're vomiting. Those are very, very those are that is what happens when you have unhealthy ways of trying to lose weight, and sometimes even when you have eating disorders. Now, eating disorders happens to be one of the biggest problems here in the United Kingdom, and there is in fact a high mortality rate from because of anorexia. All right, so that's why we're going to be talking about this, because we want to make sure that whatever it is you're doing, that you're safe, that you're safe and you're taking care of yourself, because obviously we want to make sure that whatever happens, you always take care of yourself. All right, so it's very, very, very important for you to do that. And now let's actually head into our conversation, because we're going to be talking about these dangerous weight loss products that come with absolutely no warnings. Okay, so if you want to share your thoughts with me, feel free to do that. All you need to do is just text me or call me on 078 Share your thoughts, share your opinions, but also obviously don't be shy to get in touch with me, and to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube as well, because that way you can always make sure you're listening in to our videos, you're checking out our videos if you have missed them. And something else that you can obviously do as well is to download an app, right? Because that's available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and that way you can actually make sure that you're listening into the conversation from wherever you are while you're doing whatever it is you're doing. So what better way is there for you to be connected to us and listen into our content other than actually downloading an app? Okay, so don't forget to do that and make sure to do that. And now let's actually head into our conversation, because we're going to be talking about all of these weight loss products that actually are there with absolutely no warnings. Okay. Now, the dangerous weight loss products that contain substances that can actually induce a stroke or a heart attack are in fact being sold on websites such as eBay without any health warnings. Right. Now, this was actually found by an investigation, and what this investigation has revealed is that this consumer group called Which actually found dozens of products on sale online that contain plant extracts that can actually make users very agitated or aggressive and increase their heart rate and blood pressure. Okay, so basically that is what's happening right now. That's absolutely terrifying, because imagine you actually take something that is there on the internet to with the purpose of, with the intention of losing weight, with the intention of shedding a few kilos and whatnot, but actually what happens is you end up with a stroke or even a heart condition. Right now, they all contained either yohimbine or even something called synephrine, right? Substances that the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, which is the MHRA, has said that have considerable potential to cause harm if you use it without medical supervision or advice. Right now, it's not good for your body if you use it without any medical supervision. Right, what could possibly happen is it could lead to strokes, it could lead to heart attacks. And when you buy these products with the intention of say losing weight or whatnot, what actually happens is that it just leads to considerable heart conditions. All right, now essentially that is basically what happens. Okay, now obviously we also need to talk a little bit about this whole investigation right now, which actually bought nine such products, which are basically used by some people seeking to lose weight, bodybuilders and gym goers, through the online marketplaces eBay, Wish, and even AliExpress. And of those, two actually included no health warnings or dosage information. There was absolutely no information about the dosage, and there was no health warnings as well. Now, buyers could actually get the supplements sent to them from countries including India, the United States, Ukraine, and even Poland, Poland, at a cost of between £2 £2.39 and £80. Right now, that was what it basically found. Now, Dr. James Coulson, who happens to be, this toxicology expert who sits on the UK's Committee on Toxicity, actually warned that these extracts were dangerous because it could damage users' health. Right now, when you have these drugs that basically, or rather, when it comes to these drugs, the critical effects that we are concerned about is their effect on the sympathetic nervous system, right? And particularly the kind of hold they have on blood pressure. How exactly does that affect blood pressure, and how exactly does that lead to a stroke or a heart attack? Now, these are some of the main concerns. All right, now make sure to stay tuned, because we're actually going to head into a small break, and after that we will be back to discuss more of this. But obviously, until then, make sure you stay tuned.
Are you looking to achieve the most relevant qualification to kickstart your career? Then reward yourself with the best globally recognized professional business qualification, CIMA. Irrespective of the field you aspire to succeed in, a CIMA qualification can add immense value to your resume and professional life. Succeed in your CIMA journey with supportive tuition provided by qualified lecturers and resources. Nanaska is the leading registered CIMA tuition provider in Sri Lanka, with over a decade in the industry and hundreds of success stories. With qualified and certified tutors, Nanaska now provides easy access 100% virtual classes so that you could succeed at your exams and in life right from the comfort of your home. At Nanaska, it's not just about a qualification. We help you think out of the box and build a personality. Exciting offers also await students overseas. Enroll now. Call +94 77 499 7338 or visit www.nanaska.com. Commence your CIMA journey at Nanaska and become a globally recognized leader. Nanaska. Smile with results.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It is Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and you're tuned into the sunrise, and it's in fact the second hour of the show. All right, so don't be shy to share your thoughts and opinions with me, because we're talking about these dangerous weight loss products that actually come with no warning. All right, now if you want to stay informed and updated about all of this, all you need to do is just text me or call me on 078-524-73473. Follow us on our socials. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. But you can also download our app, right? Because that's available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and that way you can actually make sure that you're always informed and you're always updated about everything that is happening in the world. All right, now before we actually head into our conversation about these dangerous weight loss products, I feel like we need to talk about the state of women in Taliban controlled Afghanistan. All right, now when it comes to the situation in Afghanistan, we know that the change of power, the speed at which it happened, it was all unexpected. It all happened so fast, right? And so many people were actually put at risk. So many people were, they were suddenly forced to flee their homes, flee their country, get out of the country as soon as possible, because they knew that their lives would be in risk if they stayed, right? So obviously, to make sure that they protected their families, they protected themselves, they kept their friends and family safe, they had to flee the country as soon as they could, right? Now, this is essentially what happened in Afghanistan, all right? But let's talk a little bit about the women. What happened to the women? What about their rights, right? Now, the safety of women in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan is in fact something, it's still, there's a lot of uncertainties, there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of doubt with regard to it, right? Because we don't know what exactly is going to happen. Because if anything, what we've seen is in the past few, when the Taliban was in power last, essentially the kind of PR image they had for themselves was not something that was great, right? You basically had these people come and say things like, oh, you know what, we want to make sure our women are safe, but at the same time they didn't let women step out of the house if they weren't fully covered. They didn't let women step out of the house if there wasn't a male relative that was in fact accompanying them, and that was a very, very big problem, right? Because and all of these women obviously had to give up their education as well. And the truth is, if this was you or me, would we be ready to give up our education? Would we be ready to give up our dreams, our ambitions, our goals? Because there's a bunch of people who are telling you, look, you can't do this because that's not what Islam says, right? And that's just the sad part about it. These women absolutely have no choice. They can't, they don't even have the freedom to make choices. And these women are in fact much older and sometimes much mature, more mature than them, right? And that's just the problem. Right now, women who did leave their homes, if they didn't without listening to these conditions that were set out by the Taliban, they were actually at the risk of being beaten, tortured, or even executed. Right now what the situation is, they seem to be quite lenient, and they seem to be saying, look, what, women can have rights as long as it's within the confines of Islam, right? They can they can study, they can go to work, they can do anything as long as they wear the hijab and they follow the religion and they do what is necessary. All right, now this seems to be what Mr. Mujahid is actually saying. However, for the time being, they actually want women to stay at home until they train their security personnel how exactly to treat women, because apparently they might mistreat women because they haven't been trained to respect human beings, apparently. And the whole thing is they want women to actually stay at home because they fear for the women's safety, because these men haven't been trained to not attack women and not make sure that women are respected. Right now, that seems to be the issue, right? And he said until all of this is sorted out, until we have made sure that these women actually have say, what, these women have safety, we've sorted out specific conditions to make sure these women are safe, you need to make sure that these women stay at home. Now apparently these women will have to stay at home until they have a new procedure, but apparently their salaries will be paid even if they're at home. All right, so that basically that is what they're saying. Okay, and he also said that they're very, very worried that their new forces who are not trained very well might actually mistreat our women, right? And he said, we don't want our forces, God forbid, to harm or harass these women, right? But I at least in my opinion, I feel like you don't have to train them because you're already doing that, right? You're forbidding women from doing what they want to do. So in a way, you're actually placing these restrictions on them. You're already harming and harassing them because you're not letting them choose their free will. You're not letting them do what they want to do. So that's just what it looks like to me, in my opinion. All right, so please feel free to text me and let me know what your opinions are as well, because ever since the Taliban swept back into control, they've spoken about how women are going to have rights, women are going to be safe and whatnot. But the truth is, with regard to everything they've shown us in the past, with all of the evidence they've shown us in the past, it generally doesn't look like these women will have any rights, even if they change, right? Even if all of these things happen, you'll only have limited rights. So what exactly is the point of this is my question. All right, now make sure you stay tuned, because we're actually going to head into a small break, and after that we will be back to discuss more of this. But obviously until then, make sure you stay tuned.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow.